maybe the next time. So we are here. We are.
Here we are.
Okay, get your mic.
Oh, mic time. I
Yeah,
always forget.
put your mic in front of you so folk can kind of hear what you're saying,
Yep.
and all of that kind of stuff, all that good jazz. And then so this is it's Sunday. It's
Sunday.
Sunday, and
So you
it's
know what that
Sunday at
means.
6 o'clock. Listen, it's Sunday at 6 o'clock. It's Super Bowl Sunday. It's the Sunday before Valentine's Day. So listen, we are talking about what are we talking about? We're talking about
Valentine's Day stuff.
Valentine's Day, oneness, underwear, all of that kind of stuff, man. We're talking about all of that on this episode of Inside the
the
Relationship. All right, let's
go.
get it.
Let's go.
You're watching Inside the Relationship with Denise and Ollie.
So sit back, relax, and let's talk about all things relationships.
Hey, people.
Hey, what's happening? We are
What's
here.
going on, guys?
It is another episode of Inside the Relationship.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday. It is the Sunday before Valentine's Day. Wow, Valentine's Day. Are you a Valentine's Day person?
I mean, I like it. I like it. It's nice. It's sweet. I don't know. I think that over the years, I haven't been as enthused, not all into it.
Okay.
Like we used to be.
Okay.
And I don't know if that goes with longevity or I don't know. We have a lot more going on now as well.
We do.
That could factor into it.
We do have a lot
over
more
the past
going on.
few years. But
yeah.
I think that I don't know. It's just not that big of a deal to us anymore. I feel like. What do you think?
Well, for me, quite honestly,
it never was. I know.
If I have to be honest, it never was really a big deal, but you almost feel
obligated.
Yeah, like you have to, right? When you're in school, they give you the hearts. When you got to, the candy hearts you got to give out to everybody,
yeah.
And then it just.
Did I make you feel?
No, I don't.
Did I put pressure on you?
I don't know.
I don't feel like I did.
I got to think about
that.
I
think I was very intentional, or at least I tried to be, not to do that.
Okay.
So
if you're watching this now, or if you're watching by the replay, is Valentine's Day a big deal for you? Put it in the comments, yes or no. Hey, shout yourself out in the comments. Let us know that you're here, where you're watching from, and that kind of thing. Listen, it's Super Bowl Sunday. We get that. There's a lot of folk who are gearing up for the Super Bowl, and so some people may either not be watching right now and may catch this on the replay. If you're catching this on the replay, hope your team won. If you're watching it now, hope your team wins, right? So Valentine's Day, we'll talk a little bit about that later because, for some people, man, this is a big deal. There's some deal breakers.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Depending on how you deal with this. Listen, we had a great weekend.
We had a
full weekend.
Busy.
We had the privilege of hanging out with the Flame Marriage class on Friday evening, all the way in the beautiful island of Hawaii.
Yeah, we were up at the crack of
right, because clearly we're not in Hawaii right now.
But it was fun though
that we were in person for this, but it was a virtual event that we did in Hawaii. Had a great time with the Flame Marriage class.
Really good time.
At the shout out to the New Hope Church. New Hope Oahu,
which is I think in, or don't get me to saying anything wrong, but I think it's in or close to Honolulu.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna let you get out on that limb by yourself.
Yeah, I'll hang out here by myself.
Stay here where it's safe.
I think. Anyway.
Yeah, so that we had a good time doing that, and then this morning, this show airs on Sunday, so this morning we had the privilege of hanging out with our good friends,
CLC.
Pastor Stevie Burke and his lovely First Lady Juan,
Yeah.
and the CLC family. Yeah, it was
Good
a good
stuff.
good
That
stuff.
was really nice.
Good stuff. And so that we had a good weekend, and now we're here just
And
chilling
now
out.
we're tired.
We are tired.
Yeah, we're
if we have
tired.
to admit it, we're a little bit tired. You're right.
And I mean, not just because of the weekend. We had a full week
Mm.
with the challenge, the toolkit challenge that we did.
That's true. Yeah,
You know,
that's
so
right.
we're tired.
Yeah. So listen. Since you brought that up, before we kind of get into our first segment, here's something for you that you can do. We had a marriage toolkit challenge
all last
week.
week. Yeah.
It was simply 5 days of us going live, talking about the various tools that we feel are important for you to have in your relationship toolbox. So listen, those videos are still up.
They're still up, but
the challenge is done. Those videos are still up. But what are you going to say?
I was going to say you have to join the group. They're in a private Facebook group.
Yeah, man, it's been a long day. Okay, it's all good.
They're in a private. Oh yeah, my listen,
I'm
gosh.
gonna say
Go
it.
ahead.
You just point.
Go ahead.
You just point and do sign language. I got you. So listen, they're in a private Facebook group. All you have to do is register, and by registering, you're gonna put your name and email address, and then you'll get an email saying to join the group, and in the group you'll see the 5 videos, some really good stuff. So that's on the screen how you can do that. Those videos, even though the challenge is over, those videos will be up for another 2 weeks. So there you have it at the bottom of your screen, denali.org/toolkit. Go ahead and check those out when you get a chance. Listen, so who do we have? Oh, let's look who we got. We got one of our favorites, one of our favorite folks here. Elizanne is with us. Welcome, Elizanne. What's happening? Thanks for joining us on this episode of Inside the Relationship. So listen, we there was something else I wanted to talk about, but let's get into this. Let's get into this first.
The question.
You want to do the question first?
Oh, I don't know.
No, let's go. Let's get into the media mixdown first. Let's go ahead and
do that.
Yeah, let's start with the media mixdown. So, all right, here we go. This is what we're gonna come up first. It's time for
Media Mixdown.
It's time for Media Mixdown. So in Media Mixdown, for those of you who are not familiar and didn't see the opening show that we did last week, first of all, if you didn't see the opening show that we did last week, you need to go back and watch that after this one, the premiere of Inside the Relationship. So first segment, Media Mixdown. So here's what I want to share with you.
Okay.
It's Valentine's Day, right?
It is. Well, tomorrow.
Right. So for those of you who are watching, I'm curious. I saw an ad, and I should have got the picture so that people could actually see the ad, right? But here, I'll describe the ad to you, and you tell me if in the comments if you would be down for this, right?
Yeah, I thought you were going to show a picture.
I was going to show a picture, and I didn't put the picture in here in time to show it. But let me describe to you, right?
Okay.
So it's Valentine's Day. You open your Valentine's gift from your husband or your wife or your significant other, and it is matching underwear. So let's say, for example, you wear boxers, she wears a thong, or you wear briefs, and she wears some kind of brief as well. But no matter what it is that you wear, the pattern
matches
is the same. Now I want you to envision that for a second. The pattern is the same. Let me see if I can find the picture. But are you cool with that? Like, tell me about that while I look for the picture. What do you think about that?
I don't have a problem with it. I don't see the big deal. It's not like, I mean, it's just for the two of you, right? Nobody else is going to see it. What's the big deal? Clearly you don't like it because you're shaking your head. I don't know that I would do that. Maybe I would, but not because of, oh no, I'm not going to do that. Just because I think probably in the back of my mind, I knew that you would be that way, but it's not a desire of mine or anything like that. But I also don't have a problem with it. I don't understand.
I don't know. So when I saw it, right, I was like, honestly, my first reaction was, who would do that?
Really? Like why?
I don't know. So if you're watching, listen, here's a question for Media Mixdown. I was watching, I was on social media doing something, and I saw this ad for a it was an underwear commercial. Some company was doing some type of underwear, and it was matching underwear. So both the men, and here's a picture. I'll throw it up real quick so you can see. Both the man and the woman have the same pattern on their underwear.
What is the big deal?
So
Who's gonna see it?
so you get a gift tomorrow for Valentine's Day from your significant other, your husband, your wife. Are you cool with wearing the same matching pattern underwear?
Yeah, I don't care either, Elizan.
Let's see. Alexander said, I would not care, but my husband would.
So
So,
is it a guy
so
thing?
okay, so now Elizan took it to a different thing now.
Is it a guy thing?
Is it a guy thing?
Is it a guy thing where most husbands or most males would not, but females would? I don't know. That's a good question.
That's a great question. So if you're watching this now, if you're watching in replay, I would love to know if that's a guy thing, or is it a pattern thing?
So you think the pattern might have something to do with it?
Does the pattern have something to do with it?
Does it?
I don't
If
know.
it was a different pattern, would you be more partial?
I don't know. I don't think I would. I don't think the pattern has anything to do with it.
So then, no, it's not the pattern.
I would most certainly not want this pattern.
What is that?
Let's be clear. This is like bumblebees or something like that. So definitely not. But here's the thing. Let me be honest, right? When I think women's underwear, when I think panties and that lingerie and that kind of thing, I think women.
Yeah.
Right. So if I see something that is for you, and then you take that and superimpose it onto something that's for me, I'm like, nah, that ain't for me.
I think you're thinking about it wrong.
That's too much.
You're thinking about it wrong because I'm not giving you a pair of panties to put on. It's just a pattern.
I don't know. I guess I got some work to do. So listen, I would love to know what you guys think about.
I think it's cute
about that segment. Sam said
it is
a guy
thing. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it must be.
It could be a guy thing. Cause listen, I'm gonna be honest. When I saw that, I was like, nah, bro, you can't do that. That's not a gift I want. Like,
but there are guys though that will wear them. There are.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously it's a thing because this ad popped up because it was Love Week or something like that. And so it was popped up talking about this great gift for your significant other.
Yeah.
And maybe it is a guy thing. Maybe it's something psychological. Like obviously the pattern, I guess, makes a difference.
Yeah.
But if it's not a pattern that's like actually a quote unquote woman's pattern, because we kind of got to, in this day and age, kind of got to be careful about that too, right?
This is true.
What is a woman's pattern? Does that even exist in this day and age? But for me personally, listen, that's just where
I know what not to spend my coins on.
So listen, here's the thing. I am not into the matching underwear. That's just me. All right. So that's the Media Mixdown. We'd love to hear your opinion on that. If your significant other bought you some matching underwear, would you be okay with wearing it?
So what if I bought it and presented it to you? Would you be like, nah, babe, send it back? Or would you wear it because I bought it?
So here's the thing. Let me be honest. I'll be 100% honest. If you bought the underwear, I would probably wear it.
Yeah.
I would probably wear it because I'd want to make some kind of special thing out of it. Right.
Mhm.
So it's some special occasion. We went on a trip together, and after hanging out and going to dinner, you shower and get all, you're in the hotel room, you put on your matching underwear. It seems like something romantic and nice to do. But I'm gonna tell you, when I saw that picture, my first reaction was, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you kind of talking me into it now. So, because and here it is. So I would love, because Elizam was answering the question, I would love to know from your husband's perspective, because you said, Sam said it's a guy thing. If it was this romantic, let me set up this scenario. It's a romantic evening.
Yeah.
you're on a weekend getaway date.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a hotel,
Mm-hmm.
and you know that all of the events are going to lead to just mind-blowing sexual intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that process is putting on this matching underwear.
Mm-hmm.
Would you, as a guy, be okay with that?
See, I think,
Because I would.
yeah, see, and that's the thing. You're not really thinking about the special moment of, oh, this is so cute. This is a cute bonding moment. You're thinking ahead to,
I'm
yeah,
thinking
you're
ahead. So
thinking
make
ahead to
yeah.
the mind.
Oh, look at this. Elizan said he said yes.
See, you
My man.
guys,
My man.
here, this is what I know is happening. This is what I know is happening. You guys are not thinking about this is a sweet bonding moment to add to the whole experience of the whole
No, we
weekend.
are. I disagree with that.
Wait a minute. I think that you're thinking ahead to let me wear this because I know that she really likes this and she'll be into it. And you're thinking of the end mind blowing sexual experience.
But you're saying that like there's something wrong with that.
But those of us who buy this matching underwear, that's not the only thing we're thinking of. I feel
Okay.
like for those people that say, no, I would never do that. But if it was on this long weekend, great, this, that, and the other, and the end of that would be mind blowing sexual experience, then you're just thinking about that. You're not thinking about the whole weekend.
I disagree.
That's how I feel.
I think I disagree with that because what you're saying is we don't care about the rest.
I think you're just doing that to appease us.
No. Now you're taking it somewhere different. We're not doing it to appease you. We're doing it to appease us. We get something out of this too, right?
Yeah,
so I don't
mind-blowing sexual experience.
Yeah, I don't know. Sam said men are motivated by what men see. Yeah, that's true. Men are visual. I agree with that.
This is true.
So knowing that this is part of the so here's my thing. I feel like knowing that this is part of the experience, you're more apt to get a guy to do something like that because it's a part of a bigger experience.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's a part of a bigger experience. So it can't be like, hey, babe, I bought this matching underwear. It has hearts on it or has the word love on it. And yours has the word love on it as well. We just every Saturday we're gonna wear this, or every Sunday we're gonna wear this to church. The dude's gonna be like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Well,
I don't feel like doing it.
I can see your point.
That experience is not conducive to me wanting to participate in that.
Okay.
Whereas if we're away on a weekend and everything is about the two of us and it's romantic and we like to see you in underwear anyway, right? It's a part of the experience. So I don't know that. I don't know. Listen,
I get that. I get that.
So that's the media mix down for today. And I thought that was something funny to talk about since it is Valentine's Day
weekend.
Because all kinds of gifts are going to be coming.
This
and apparently that's going to be one of them because that was an ad that I saw. So apparently they're making some money creating matching underwear for folks.
Well,
so
I know that I will not be buying you that.
I don't know.
Rest assured, you won't be getting that.
You know me. I'm my mind is opening as I'm getting older. So we may be able to rock some matching underwear. Now let me be clear when I say matching underwear because people are jumping in and out of this, so they may be coming in and be like, "What is this dude talking about? You gonna wear matching underwear?" When I say matching underwear, I'm talking about the pattern, not the style and cut of the underwear.
Yeah, I think people understand that.
Some people don't understand it. Trust me.
Really?
I think so. But I just wanted to be clear about myself. Right. So I wanted to be clear about myself. So that's the media mix down. Let us know in the comments what you think about that. If that's something that you would be down with or not. Elizan said for us as women, it is part of the experience also, just a different type of experience. I buy that.
Yeah.
I buy that.
Yeah.
I buy that. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. I can get behind that. You're right. You're right. We're thinking about it differently, which is what
This
you
is true.
just described.
Right. Yep.
Right. We're
Yeah.
coming from a
Yeah.
very different perspective,
Yeah.
different angle, which kind of leads us right into the
Question of the
leads us right
week.
into the question of the week. And the question of the week, because it's Valentine's Day, right, is one that I didn't realize really meant that much. And maybe that's, just me being naive. But the question of the day is my relationship in trouble if I don't celebrate Valentine's Day?
Hmm.
Now, I got to be honest before you say what you're going to say. I got to be honest. I was like, is it that deep? Like,
It is.
like, is it, I
Well,
don't want
here's the thing. I think that it is that deep to some people,
Okay.
but you have to know your person. Is
Mm,
it that deep to my spouse or to my
okay.
significant other? Because if it is, and I end up not purchasing anything for him or her, then I don't know that your relationship would be in trouble per se. But if you know it's a big deal to your significant other, then they're probably going to be expecting something and be upset if you don't.
So let me ask you this though, and I understand what that your perspective on that. But should it really, even if I am upset
Mm-hmm.
that you did not follow through with me for Valentine's Day, whatever my ideology is behind that,
Mm-hmm.
should it really lead? Should my disappointment lead to my relationship being in
That's what I'm
trouble?
saying. I don't think so necessarily. No, I don't. I mean, of course, I say that because it's not a big deal
Mm.
to us. But, I don't know how other people think. Maybe so.
Yeah. Listen, we're gonna need to hear from you guys on this. If you're watching this now or watching the replay, here's the thing. I guess, and you're right. You brought up a good point. From our perspective, it is a big deal. I'm not going to say I didn't realize it's a big deal. It is a big deal. We went to get some food last night, and the place we went to grab the food from, I'm so glad my son
Decided.
suggested that we do carry out instead of sitting in, because the
Mhm.
place was
It
jam
was
packed.
packed. Yeah. And today was probably the same.
Today was probably the same. So obviously it is a big deal to a lot of people.
Right.
This question baffled me though, because you're telling me that if I don't get you some flowers and candy, that our relationship is potentially in jeopardy, which I just, to me, I can't really get behind that. Samuel Russell said, Denise, you are asking for a guy to do too much. Oh, this is for the
underwear
media mixdown.
question.
We see the underwear and we think about
The destination of where he wants to get pleasure.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
get
that it's
that.
asking too much though.
And it depends on the guy, right? I think it
True.
depends on the guy.
True.
I think at certain stages of your relationship, or I'll say that at certain stages of your relationship, that may mean something different to you, depending on where you're at. So Elizan said, no, it is
Too commercialized, and as a couple we can eat or do something better on the day after.
Okay.
I agree, but when you say it's too commercialized, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily biblical. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, but that term applies to anything, not just you're thinking like Christmas, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it is commercialized. Like all of these holidays are commercialized.
Well, yeah.
This is all about money making. Let me tell you, every holiday I tell her, I'm like, man, I wish I owned a candy shop.
Right.
Or man, I wish I owned a florist.
Right.
Or man, I wish I owned places that made Easter bunnies. Every holiday, I'm like, man, I'm in the wrong business.
Yeah.
Because it's all about the bottom
money
line,
making
right?
business. Yep.
The people who sell roses, any deficits they had last year coming out of Q4, they made up this weekend because they made a ton of money on people buying stuff, right?
It is very commercialized. I think, I just think it's all relative, and you have to know your person.
Yeah, you have to know your person. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this to answer the question, since it's posed to us. You guys obviously give us your opinion, but since the question is posed to us, I'm going to answer the question. The question is no. And I'm going to say, if you don't if by not celebrating Valentine's Day, your relationship is in trouble, it's
Your
in trouble
relationship was already in trouble.
exactly.
Yeah.
Your relationship is in trouble for a whole nother reason.
Right. Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah. So it's in trouble for a whole nother reason. If Valentine's Day is the thing that's going to make it come crashing down.
And I think if you got to ask that question, is my relationship in trouble if I don't do anything, then you already know.
Yeah.
You already know.
Yeah, it's already a problem. Samuel's Russell said, I believe the over commercialization robs the day of its importance. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
And like with most holidays,
Yeah.
that is the same. Yeah. So that's the answer to the question today for us. Let us know what you think, because there's some people, man. Listen, there are some people who I've heard people talk and describe this as if it's a deal breaker.
It's crazy.
Like, if he don't do something for me, it's gonna be a problem. Da 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 da.
I saw, I did see someone. I can't even say all of what she said because she curses too much. But she was like, basically, if he doesn't, girl, why are you still with him? Kick into the curb.
Yeah, see, that's
after all this time that you've been giving it up to him.
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
I was just like, wow.
That's unacceptable, because what that implies to me is that you ain't been doing nothing for the whole year.
Right.
Or, and let me be even more controversial, for the person who says that, what you said, she hasn't been the kind of person that would allow the other person to even want to treat them like that all year long.
Yeah. And
then you're expecting this windfall on February 14 and talking about, if I don't get it, something's wrong. No, something's already wrong.
Yeah.
Something's already wrong, because you should be doing that all through the year. You should know that you're my Valentine in July.
Yes.
And August.
Correct.
And September.
Correct.
And December. And February. So that's my thing.
I agree.
That's just my thing.
I agree.
Besides, you both should live and strive to see, there it is.
Right.
That's exactly what I was just saying.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was just saying. So there's already a problem if this thing is going to be the thing. All this is the straw that broke the camel's back.
Exactly.
Right. It was already some other straws on the camel's back before this Valentine's Day thing. So that is the question of the day. Is my relationship in trouble if I don't celebrate Valentine's Day? And I love what Samuel Russell said, which piggybacks exactly what I'm saying. You should already be. Here's the nugget you take away from this, right? You should already be in the habit of being intentional about letting your spouse know that they are loved, that they are appreciated, that they are validated, that they are heard, that they are acknowledged. You should be doing that consistently.
Yep.
A couple times a week.
Yeah.
Right? You shouldn't have to wait till Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is just icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Hey, babe, you know what? This is love month, so let's do something extra special, maybe. Yeah. Or, and when I say extra special, I'm not saying you got to go out and spend tons of money.
No.
But just extra special in that, hey, you know what? Let's go to this restaurant we've been wanting to try for the last 6 months.
Yeah, we've been going out to eat for date night.
Right.
But let's go to somewhere we've never tried before that we've always wanted to. Maybe a little bit more pricey, or ambiance is a little bit different. And we always talk about we wanted to go there. Let's do that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to go out on a limb, and you can fight me in the comments if you want to. But I'm going to say this, and I mean it with all my heart. If you are hanging the hat of your relationship on February 14th, your relationship is already in problems.
Mercy.
Period. That's the end of that question. Fight me if you want to. But listen, we talk to couples every day, and we see what we see. So if you're hanging the relationship hat on February 14, your relationship is already in trouble. So let's just be clear. Let's be clear about that. You should be doing that every single day. You should be doing that every single day. So that is the question of the week. Listen, if you want to send us a question that you want us to tackle on this show, send your question to admin@denali.org. We accept questions from everyone. It does not matter. Remember, this show is about, excuse me, all things relationships. So nothing is
off limits.
yeah,
Send us
nothing
any
is
kind of
off
question you
limits.
have.
Now, if you want us now, be clear. Excuse me, man, what's going on? Be clear when you send us a question, let us know whether you want
to
to be
remain
acknowledged or not.
anonymous. Yeah.
Right. Because if you don't want your name attached to it, then that's fine. We'll make sure that your name is not attached to it. If you do not say that, there's a good chance we're going to say, oh, today we got a question from Jane saying, and if you don't want that, make sure that you say that when you email us that question. Listen, so this is, so we kind of halfway through this, man. And there's something I kind of want to touch on a little bit later as it relates to Valentine's Day and as it relates to oneness, right?
Okay.
But before we do that, we need to get a word from our sponsor.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm just going to be clear with you. Our sponsor is us.
Which is great.
Now, that's going to change one day. But as for today, we'll be right back after this word from our sponsor. Yeah, so that is the T, and as you can see, we have on 2 of the T-shirts right now. I want to talk a little bit about before we keep going the T-shirts, right? There's something special about these T-shirts. It's more than just like you saw in the ad. It's more than just a cool T-shirt.
Yeah.
Right. It's a declaration. Right.
It's a declaration.
I'm on my chest. I'm wearing what we call marriage math. Right. So those of you who are people of faith know that in the Bible it says the 2 shall become one flesh, and that it is actually encouraged that you leave. A man leaves his mother and father and cleaves to his wife, and they become one flesh. And what I have on my chest is 1 + 1 equals 1.
I was going to say, what
Yeah,
are you
where
doing?
am I going? Yeah, I didn't know where I was going for a second. 1 + 1 equals 1. And if you see, the first 1 is outlined, the second one is solid, but then the number 1 is a combination of the 2. And that's essentially what we're trying to do, which actually ties really good into what we're about to talk about.
Yeah.
So I'll come back to that. But the committed one, right? You're supposed to be committing to each other.
Yeah.
Committing to love, committing to cherish, all the things that you talked about in your vows, and then committing to learn each other. Because committing to do the vows is one thing, but then you start your journey and you have to learn your spouse.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
You have to learn who this person is. And I'm gonna come back to the comments in just a second. You guys have to learn your spouse. You got to learn who this person is, and then you got to learn what their needs are. You got to identify what their needs are, and then you got to commit to being a servant lover, and not just in the bedroom, but a servant lover in the sense that you are now intentional about going about the business of meeting those needs. That's what this shirt says. And it says that we are committed to make a covenant to be intentional about doing whatever it takes to build a relationship of your dreams.
Yeah.
And then the 1 + 1 is what we're striving for. 2 different words, but they come together to make a team.
Yeah.
And that's what that's all about. And so listen, these are conversation starters. Thank you to those of you who have gotten these shirts already. Listen, if you want to get one of these shirts, you can simply go to pressandsew.com/Denali to get your shirt. It's more than a cool t-shirt.
Yeah.
It is a declaration.
Declaration.
And listen, I wear typically when we're on camera, I have on one of our shirts. Now, yes, it is for advertising purposes, but it is also because I believe the message behind it. So I'm going to promote the message behind it. That's what we're doing. We're trying to be one, right? We're trying to be one. And we're going to talk about that for a few minutes before we get into last word. But let's go back and get into these comments. Samuel Russell, why do you guys have crosshairs in the commercial? So the crosshairs is yeah, that's a great question. So here's the thing. So the crosshairs that you saw before the commercial is actually the background. Like if we were to have guests, it's actually the background. So let me see if I have a picture. Let me see if I have a picture of it. Of inside. Do I have a picture of inside a relationship? Yeah, I do. So if you see inside the relationship logo has the crosshairs in there. So basically what we're doing is we are shooting into the relationship. We want to see everything that's inside the relationship. We're focusing directly on the relationship and what's inside the relationship. So that's where that crosshairs came from. So what you saw was the background of what is inside of our logo.
And so no, we are not shooting enthusiasts. That was his next question.
Are we shooting enthusiasts? Well, I'm not. I'm not going to say I'm an enthusiast. Oh, that was the next comment you said.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. Where is that? Did I miss that? Oh, are you guys shooting? So I'm not going to say I'm a shooting enthusiast. I will say this. I've been to the shooting range a couple times and I enjoyed it.
I didn't.
I enjoyed it.
I've been and I did not enjoy it.
She didn't enjoy it that much.
Too much power in my hands.
She didn't enjoy it that much, but I had a good time. I definitely had a good time. Samuel said, I really like the 1+1 shirt. They speak a powerful truth. Yes, it does. Thank you for that. It does speak a powerful truth, man. Yeah. And it kind of leads into what we want to talk about just for about 5 or 6 minutes or so before we get into last word. And it's on our hearts and minds today, because that's what we talked about with Pastor Stevie Burke and the CLC family in Virginia today. We're talking about being one, right? And really paralleling that to some things that Jesus did. And we won't really get into the whole thing, but it's so important that I'm just going to give you, whether you believe in Christ or not, I believe that this system that I'm about to share will work for anybody, whether they believe in Christ or not. Because even if you feel like the Bible is just a good book and a history book, if you follow and study the way Jesus operated, and then you take those characteristics and ideologies and superimpose them into your relationship, you will have a different relationship.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that. I'm going to say that. And I'll let you speak to that if you want. I'm a certified nut where shooting is concerned. Oh, that's okay. So we got enthusiasm. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Awesome. Yeah, you picked up on that, huh, Samuel?
Yeah. So yeah, that's I believe, and that's kind of what we kind of walked through this morning. There's some areas that we took Jesus, the way Jesus paralleled, the way he lived his life, and took that and paralleled into how we are to be one. And I'll share one of them that you can speak on it. So one of them is about how he was intentional about stealing away.
Yeah.
So all through the Gospels, you see where Jesus talked to God, where he prayed, where he was looking for God's will, all those things. But you would often see that it would say he would steal away, or he would go to the wilderness, or it was always something remote. It never says, oh, he went to the back of the party or the back of the church
Yeah.
or to the bedroom or to the
Yeah.
lobby where nobody was. It was always remote.
Way.
And I believe that in order for us to achieve some level of oneness, there's also a remote component that is involved in that. Like, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So I think that in our relationships, we have so much. Christ should always be our example, Samuel. Yes. We have so much going on,
Mhm.
right? In our lives. We've got children, we've got our careers, we've got church obligations, we have family, children and maybe parents, just a whole lot of stuff going on. And so it's really difficult to try to connect and make sure you're hearing
Mhm.
each other when you have so much noise
Yeah.
going on in the background of your mind, so to
Mhm.
speak. So it's super important to steal away with your spouse, be it retreats, even fast and pray together. All of those types of things are really important to do.
Mhm.
And also, you had said something else as far
Yeah.
as stealing away as well.
Yeah, because the flip side of that, right? Because that's important.
Very important.
Physically getting away,
Right.
going on a weekend or an overnight or
Yeah.
whatever it is,
Yeah.
right? To get away from or do what I call breathing different air.
Because it really does help to be in a different environment.
It does. It
Like
does.
if we were to go like to the bedroom and have quiet time and whatever prayer time, it does help. It really does help.
Mhm.
But that help is intensified when you're in a different environment altogether.
Can I just add something too? Here, and you're gonna laugh when I say this because you're gonna be like, oh, well, that's where your head is at, but it's not.
Here we go.
But check this out. I was watching another marriage coach, and she specializes in sexual intimacy coaching. Right? She presented a stat the other day, and it said that couples have man, let me make sure I say this right. She said that couples are, I think it's 40% more interested in sex and have 41% more sex when they travel.
I could see that. Yep, I could see
Because the
that.
getting away does something different for you. There's
It's
some other
different.
kind of connection. So now bring it back to, we're talking about paralleling what Jesus did, right? So imagine Jesus is not going to the bedroom. He's not going to the back of the house. He's going to the wilderness. He's stealing away. It's always someplace where he can
Remote
be
and secluded.
right, where the only voice
Mhm.
that he can reflect on, concentrate on, and hear is God the Father.
Yep.
Because there's nobody else around. And so it's
Yes.
very important that there's sometimes it's great to have conversations in the bedroom.
Mhm.
Pillow talk is phenomenal. Let me
Yeah.
tell you that right now.
Absolutely.
But there's other stuff going on. Or you're thinking some other things, or there's just, you got a lot going on in your head. Whereas if you steal away, you can be like, okay, the only person I can concentrate on at this moment is her.
Because you know why else that is helpful too?
Mm-hmm.
When you're in the same environment, your subconscious, I think, and I'm not a psychologist, but I think your subconscious is tempted to be like, well, in a minute I'm going to go do XYZ, or in an
Yeah,
hour
you're
I'm
looking right.
yeah,
You're looking
you're
past.
not totally in the moment, or
Mhm.
at least your mind is not.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But then when you get away, you have no choice but to be in the moment because you're not in your same environment.
Right. I agree with that. Here's the other side of the steal away thing, right? Often we don't separate ourselves as much as we should from our family.
Yep.
Let me say what I mean by that, right? In Genesis 2:24, it talks about, and I just mentioned it earlier, this is why a man leaves his mother and father and cleaves with his wife, and the two of them become one flesh,
Yeah.
right? We're not doing enough leaving and cleaving in our relationships.
Right.
And I said this earlier to the COC family. I was like, listen, man, we love mom. We love grandma. We love big mama. We love pop. We love dad. We love them all. right? We love them, but they cannot be a constant sense of noise in our relationship.
Right.
There are some times where you got to steal away from that and be like, hey, I hear you. Hey, I might even agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I get your perspective. But at the end of the day, me and her, we gonna do this. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna make a decision that's right for us.
Yep.
That's part of the stealing away process too. A lot of us are dealing with, and I'm telling you this from experience because I sit with couples who are going through this. A lot of people have so many other people in their ear.
Yeah.
And then they take that and it goes in one ear and then it comes out to their spouse.
Yeah.
And now their spouse are dealing with some type of conflict that was caused by some outside force that you should have been separating yourself from.
I just want to throw a caveat in there. We're not talking about, like, a lot of couples these days have to be the caregivers for, like, say, their parents or, another family member even. We're not saying don't do that. We're more talking about the opinions of your loved ones. I just wanted to throw that
absolutely.
in there.
And I'm not saying, again, the Bible talks about leaving your father and mother. It doesn't say anything about not stop loving
neglecting them
or neglecting them.
Correct.
It's talking about the fact that you are now creating a new entity.
Right. Yes.
So every entity is governed by its own set of guiding principles. So I can't create. So here's the thing. McDonald's, let's put it in some terms maybe that folk will understand. McDonald's, when you go to work for McDonald's, they are not going to hand you Burger King's guiding principles because that's a separate entity. They almost do kind of the same thing. They serve you food, but they are governed by the guiding principles of McDonald's. It's the same way. When I got married to this woman, we created an entity, and it was our responsibility to set up some guiding principles around that entity.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, I could not adopt the guiding principles from somebody else's entity. All right. So we're just going to leave it there. We just want to talk about that a little bit. It is, let me go back to some comments. So it's a mystery that we need to experience. Yeah, I would agree with that. Get away from your routine.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. And especially from yeah, you're right about that.
Single
especially from because that's a whole nother kind of entity. That's like saying, hey, I'm running an entity in the food industry, but I'm going to get some advice from somebody who's running something in the medical industry.
Right.
Nah, it's not going to work. Right.
Sorry. Wow.
Samuel said that is true. Marriage is clearly not a community project. That's true. That. So yeah. So and we just want to kind of drop that on you. Every one of these shows we will either dig into something ourselves or we'll have a guest that will for 5 or 10 minutes come on and share some things with you. But listen, that's what we're going to leave it right there. And then so before we get out of here, right? Because it's almost time to get out of here, right?
Almost.
It's almost time to get out of here. So listen, let's go ahead and dive into the we're going to go ahead and dive into the last word. What's the last word for today?
My last word is, yes, it is Valentine's Day weekend. Valentine's Day is tomorrow. Again, like we've been saying throughout the show, it should be an all year thing. But really take this time to talk to your spouse. Is there anything that they feel that you're missing the mark on? Do they feel like the love is lacking in any part of your relationship? Take this time to work on that.
Wow, that's a interesting take because we are often looking at the celebratory
Yeah.
aspect of Valentine's Day.
Focus on your relationship.
But this is and that kind of goes back to the question. This is an opportunity. The question of the day. Go back and watch that segment if you didn't see it. That that gives you an opportunity to actually do some things that will be beneficial to you.
Yep.
And will open the door for you to be able to celebrate all year long.
Yeah. Ask your spouse, look, is your love language still the same? Am I speaking your love language? Has it changed? Because it's possible that it can change. It's possible as you evolve in your relationship. What you needed before, you may not need anymore. The way you needed to be loved before, you may not need to be loved in that way anymore.
Yeah.
Take this opportunity to just make sure you are on the same page with your spouse.
And let me add something to that last word. And thank you, Elizana and Samuel. I saw you said love the format. It's very inspirational. Thank you. And Maxine, shout out to Maxine.
Maxine, what's up?
Make sure you're following her Team Marriage if you're not already following her. She said it's I'll put it back up so you can see it. It said that's deep. Take time to speak about what's missing.
Yeah, man.
And listen, I want to give you just a piece of advice as it relates to having that conversation. You cannot go into that conversation talking about, hey, you don't never do this, and every time you do this, and
That's not going to be a constructive conversation.
That's not the approach, right? The approach to that conversation cannot be that. There's a very simple question that I have couples ask each other. That question is simply this: what do you need from me?
Yeah.
And then once you say that question, be quiet.
And be open, be receptive.
Yeah. Because what it's going to do is it's going to allow you to hear your spouse's heart.
Yep.
And hey, what do you need from me? It makes that other person now become introspective. Like, man, what do I need from her? And you can start talking about your most important emotional needs. And you can talk about what it looks like to facilitate those needs and meet those needs, right? Yeah. So that's a great last word. That's a great last word. So some quick shout out to the folk who were in the comments: Elizanne, Samuel, Russell, Maxine. Listen, and those of you who might be watching this by the replay, make sure that you comment, say what's up, let us know where you're watching from, put hashtag replay in there as well. For those of you that are over on Facebook, we would love to have you as a part of our YouTube community.
Yes.
So listen, come over to YouTube. I'm gonna put the link up on the screen. I think I'm gonna put the link up on the screen. Just come on over to YouTube, and we would love to have you as part of our community. We're trying to grow the community. So youtube.com/Denali LLC. I'm gonna tell you this, that if we do giveaways, because giveaways will be a part of this down the road.
Yep.
The giveaways are only going to be for the folk that are on YouTube.
Right.
We got to make something exclusive for the people that are on YouTube, because this is the audience that we're trying to build the most. We love you on Facebook. It's no love lost. But listen, we're about doing something over here that involves us being on YouTube. So make sure that you're over there on YouTube. Any other things you want to say?
No, I was just going to say to those of you who are watching or who will watch the replay, share this with about 5 people that you know. Just share it with them. Tell them to go to our YouTube channel.
Yes. Tell
them to subscribe. Click the bell so that they'll get the notifications. Yes. Share the wealth.
Share. Please do that. I'm glad you said that. Hey, thanks, Samuel. Yes, check out the website. Now, I will say this. The website is up, and it is there. We are working on a brand new design on that website, and hopefully that will hit the streets real soon.
Yeah.
So what you see today, it will probably be different next month. But yes, definitely check us out. From there, you can get to everything else that we're doing, right? We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. We live in a lot of places, but the YouTube space is the space that we're going to be doing a lot of concentration on this year.
Yeah.
We're concentrating on the YouTube family this year. So listen, that's another episode of Inside the Relationship. We're coming to you every week, God willing. There may be some cancellations, who knows? Life happens, but
yeah,
our goal is to come to you every Sunday at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you share this with somebody. Let us know if there's any takeaways you got from this.
Yeah.
If there's any questions you want to ask us, you can shoot the questions to admin@denali.org. And listen, so today, to recap, we talked about Valentine's Day. We talked about oneness. We talked about matching underwear. I'm still on the fence about that, but we talked about matching underwear. So if you missed any portion of this, make sure that you go back and watch that segment so that you can see some of that. So listen, until next time, God bless. And you know what? Let me say this. I'm a shout out Tabby. I don't think she's watching right now, but I'm a shout out Tabitha Thurman Hill. Is her name hyphenated? I don't even know, but I hyphenated it for you. So there you go. Tabitha Hill gave us a really cool saying that's based on our shirt.
Yes.
To say at the end of these shows. And I think we're going to adopt it because the 1+1 philosophy is definitely what we're about. Right. So we may introduce that next week.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We may introduce that next week. So be on the lookout for that. Shout out to Tabby for that. So here we are. Blessings on you. Have a great rest of your evening. If you are a Super Bowl fan, you're probably watching this in the other corner of your eye.
Who you got?
I don't know, man. Let's go with the Bengals. I don't know.
I don't care either way.
I don't know. So hopefully your team.
I just know that that's something people say.
Yeah. Hopefully your team wins. And if you're watching the replay, hopefully your team won. Remember, every day, as corny as this sounds, it is that the truth is hard hitting. Every day is Valentine's Day. Every day is Valentine's Day. May God bless and keep you. May your relationship thrive. Be intentional about creating an experience that allows you to grow intimacy. And we'll see you next week on Inside the Relationship.
Have a good week, guys.